Hi, I am Rick, and this is my wife Shari, and we're from northern Indiana, and we are preparing to hike the Appalachian Trail. And our departure date, or actually our date that we're going to go on trail, is February 21st this year. So not too many days, and we're going to be getting on trail. And we're going to start at Amicalola Falls and take the approach trail, which is approximately 8 miles, and head up to Springer Mountain, where we will begin the actual trail. And we thought we would share with you some of the things that we have chosen, our big three things that we have chosen to start out with. And we realized after watching a lot of YouTube videos and listening to a lot of other thru hikers that there's a lot of different opinions, but this is the gear that we've chose, and we just wanted to share that with you and also publish our first YouTube video. So we're going to start out here. We're both going to start out with a 55-liter Z-Pack, 55-liter Arcol. There we go. It's the Arcol, and the Arcol is made of Dyneema or Cuban fiber. This material is highly water resistant, I would say almost waterproof, and very durable, very tough material. And as you can see, we've got a mesh pocket here on the back, and we'll put things that we want to keep accessible, such as a rain jacket, toilet paper, water filter, those kinds of things. Of course, the water filter has to be kept inside close to you in freezing temperatures. And then we have pockets on the side, on both sides here, and then there's also bungee straps like to hold things like the umbrella. And then there's a place here at the bottom. These lashings are where I'm gonna carry the tent and the ground cloth. The shoulder straps I have two pouches. One is just for miscellaneous items, and the other one will be for my water bottle. That's where I'll store my water bottle. I have a bag on my belt that I'll carry some essentials that I want to keep handy as well. And I don't think there's really anything else that I want to cover there. We'll do another more complete gear view later on. So our backpacks are both the same. She has hers outfitted a little bit differently, but pretty much the same thing. The next item is our tent. So the tent that we have chosen is a tarp tent. That's the brand. And it is a very unusual tent, the design of it, and we'll show you pictures when we're on trail of that tent set up. But one of the reasons we chose this tent, the primary reason, is because of the tub size on the inside. The tub is actually the area where you are able to, the usable space on the floor. So we have two air mattresses that measure 25 inches wide. So those air mattresses together would be 50 inches, and that tub is one of the biggest, has one of the widest floor spaces of 54 inches, which is pretty important because we're going to sleep 2 people in that tent, or in this tent. And then there is also on either side an exit, so if she needs to get up and use the restroom at night or something like that, she can go out her side without crawling over the top of me, and vice versa. There's also an extended vestibule, in other words a protected area. There's no floor, but that would be a place where our backpacks can set. So this thing is pretty lightweight. There's no poles.
How much does it weigh?
Weighs 2.5 pounds. And there are no poles, no ridge poles or anything. Actually, our trekking poles, 2 trekking poles set up at either end, will form a ridge line, and then guy lines going out. So it's not a self-supporting tent. However, it's lightweight and a very durable tent.
Tent stakes.
Oh yes, and then I have, these are the tent stakes. We're going to use, we're not using the ones that came with the tent. They're good stakes, but for this purpose, we want some a little lighter weight, and we selected something a little shorter. These are 6-inch groundhog stakes, and there's 3 sides to this tent. They're made of aluminum. They're very lightweight. We have, I believe, 8 of those stakes that we're going to take, maybe 9, so we have 1 spare. For our sleep system, first of all, we have you may not think this is much, but it's an 8-inch foam pad, and that pad will lay underneath our sleeping bag, especially in the cold weather, when we start out, this will give us another barrier or another layer of insulation.
They'll go down first.
Yes.
On the tent floor. And then our air mattress is on top.
Right. And that'll help keep the air mattress from sliding around at night. They tend to slide around a little bit. And then the air mattress, we both have a Thermarest. I'm not going to unroll this. We both have Thermarest air mattresses. This one has about a 3.2 R value. There's a material inside. Some people say it sounds like a bag of potato chips at night when you're laying on it. Oh yeah, there's the bag that goes in. After you use it, this one I've used enough now that I don't think about it anyway. I think it's quieter now. And then her air mattress is even quieter, but hers has a R value of 6/6. I don't remember the exact number. It's also a Thermarest. They're both 25 inches wide. And then we're going to be using quilts. And along with our quilts, a quilt is more like a blanket. And at the end where your feet go in, it's closed together. Yeah, why don't we start there? So these are UGQ quilts, and they're made in Jackson, Michigan. Excellent manufacturer. And we chose to use down. Down is lighter, it's warm. The downside of down is that if it gets wet, it's useless. But it is lightweight and it has a terrific loft. So we really like these. But here at the bottom is the what they call a foot box. Now on this particular brand, these can be unzipped if you would prefer. But we'll keep that zipped up, and that gives your feet a place to kind of stay in so they stay warmer. And then there's straps that go.
Oh. Bless you.
There's straps that go underneath the air mattress, and that keeps this held down so that cold air doesn't come in under the sides. So the quilt is more like using a blanket. When you lay on in a typical sleeping bag, what's underneath you when it's compressed doesn't offer any insulation. So it's added weight that you don't really get any benefit from. So we're using both using quilts. The straps will hold this in place to the air mattress. And then we are also using, because we're starting in February, we purchased 2 alpaca bag liners. A bag liner is nothing more than, it looks kind of like a sleeping bag, a rectangular shape. It's very thin material, but alpaca wool is a great insulator, and you can see it's pretty transparent. But I've used it quite a bit already, and it is very warm. So we're quite confident. We've slept out to 23, down to 23 degrees in the bags without the bag liner. But in the Smoky Mountains, they say we could experience down in the single digits. So we'd like to have just a little bit extra. And when we get out of the Smoky Mountains, we can decide if we want to send those home. We can do that. But that is another layer of warmth. I think that's all we're going to cover for now. We're pretty excited about it. We're pretty excited about our trip. We've never done anything like this before, but we're quite confident. We're good campers. Oh, there is one other thing that I forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah.
We do have a ground cloth, and this is nothing more than a piece of Tyvek that a local contractor gave me, Willie Miller. He's a construction guy, and I asked him if he had a piece, and we cut this to fit underneath our tent, just as an extra preventative, an extra measure against getting our tub punctured on the bottom, and help it stay a little cleaner if we're in muddy conditions, which there'll be a lot of mud.
And then I washed it. Why did you want me to wash it?
And my wife, Shari washed that because it was kind of stiff. So she washed it. Now it's very pliable, more like regular material. So I think that's all we're going to cover for now. And we look forward to covering a more complete gear review. And then also we'll show you how our gear is used, our tent and our cook system and everything when we get on trail at the end of the month. So thank you. God bless.
2 more weeks.